If you drive the US 20 bypass in Elkhart County, you are probably familiar with scenes like this, unfortunately. Traffic accidents during snowy weather have prompted police to shut down parts of the bypass in the past. And with that in mind, police and first responders want to remind you to drive carefully on a certain stretch of the highway that has seen its share of problems. WSBT 22's Ed Ernstis has the details.
Monday morning, this is what drivers saw as they drove on the US 20 bypass in Elkhart County, south of Elkhart. Wind and blowing snow making travel a bit more difficult. Some choose to navigate it when it's like this, and some, like Colleen Fry, have opted to avoid the bypass because of past experiences.
I avoid it at all costs. I've watched people spin around down there on just a little bit of slickness, and so when it's treacherous, it's bad.
The Bago Fire Department regularly responds to numerous calls on the bypass during winter months. They say drivers have to reacclimate themselves to icy conditions.
Even with a very light coating of snow, it doesn't even need to be an inch. A lot of times what will happen is as people drive over it, it kind of compacts the snow into the pavement, causes it to ice over and become very slick. And then that's when you start having your spin-offs.
So it's not unusual for them to become very busy over a short period of time.
We've had instances where we're getting a dozen or more calls in a half-an-hour period, which really stretches our resources to the limits.
The conditions on the bypass can become icy and treacherous at times, resulting in multiple accidents and pileups along it. Last year, for example, county police had to close sections of it several times to deal with the aftermath.
There were a couple occasions last year we had so many crashes on the bypass that, we had to shut down some lanes. It was not only for the safety of the motorists that were stranded at that point, but for our people responding.
He says be aware of slick conditions, make adjustments, and drive accordingly. Ed Ernstis, WSBT 22 News.
And the bypass is not the only area of concern during the winter, obviously. Captain Bradbury says driver awareness is key to being safe anytime the snow falls.